Welcome to National Sports Chat. This your man's Ken the Guru. You're now tuned in to my take. And before I give you my take, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get it.
What's up, man? Y'all know, y'all heard, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Y'all now tune in to my take, boxing edition. And it's only right that I bring it in with my guy.
Absolutely.
You already know when we see each other, it's already a movie. You know what I'm saying? We may agree, we may not. Most times we don't, but we see what we come up to today. But I want to talk about a few topics, man, and the dire situation in boxing that made me kind of expedite this whole situation. Just a little faster than what I anticipated on coming out with this segment. You know what I'm saying? And one being Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? Like situations like that, man, is what hurting the boxing community. So he said basically,
breakdown. Say, give them a little breakdown of what's going on with him.
Yeah, man. So basically, he act as if he wanted to fight Devin Haney. He didn't want to fight Devin Haney. Now, keep in mind, when I look at anything from the perspective or any spectrum, I look at it from the standpoint of business. Within business, that makes sense, right? So he said that he wanted to fight his mandatory. So the IBF came out and stated that he had basically a free fight. You know what I'm saying? A volunteer fight that he can make. And him being Teofimo basically was saying that IBF had told him that he had to fight his mandatory. He used that as an excuse to basically not fight Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So he was making a bunch of excuses. He said he was getting 10 million to fight Kambosos. Now it turns out that he's only being offered 1.25 million.
One thing I do wonder. I wonder if that's 1.25 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's guaranteed. But that still came after Devin Haney offered him 4 million.
Yeah, and then I would pay them whatever the sales do, but I'm sure it ain't gonna be too much sales. So I'm sure this isn't gonna be pay-per-view. He's not a pay-per-view fighter.
Nah. So what he's trying to do,
he's on Top Rank, isn't he?
Yeah,
Top fighter. Okay. Yeah. So there's no pay-per-view.
Yeah. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to get it to go to purse bid in hopes that somebody else picks it up, right? So I'm looking at it. I'm like, this cat. It's something about him, bro. It's like he think that he's Floyd Mayweather for whatever reason, and a lot of people, and I heard this saying a lot. People want to be Floyd Mayweather, right? They want to be Pretty Boy Floyd. They want to be Money Mayweather without going through the Pretty Boy Floyd phase. And so, with that being the case, he ain't fought nobody outside of Lomachenko. And I already told people that Lomachenko was overrated. And he fought him and lost. We could say probably 8 rounds. Lomachenko was a hype job. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo fighting him, it didn't even make any. It didn't even make a difference. Because if Devin Haney would have fought Lomachenko, it would have been the same difference. You feel what I'm saying? And so, like, bro, it's just so much to break down within this court. But I just want to allow you to respond based on the information that you heard on Teofimo and his approach.
Okay, so first, let me respond to the Lomachenko thing. I don't think Lomachenko was just a hype job. I think he just, like they always say, styles make fights. And whenever he's going against a more powerful fighter, you could tell that whole fight he was really scared to really throw to the end, because it's like, well, damn, I gotta throw now, because you didn't try to duck and dodge him this whole time because you was afraid of his power. So with the same thing may have happened with Haney and Tank and other fighters, yes, I'll probably give you that. But to get on to go to Teofimo, I think Teofimo, like you said, he's trying to be Floyd and not go through that pretty boy stage. And the one thing about that is, you know, even though Floyd gets a lot of knock on who he's fought and stuff like that, but when you look at it very early on, because Teofimo's 23, so at 23, Floyd was fighting the creme de la creme. You feel me? So we can't really let that go. And you know, I'm not just gonna say creme de la creme. Floyd was fighting some top competitors in the division. You feel me? It wasn't like he was just, oh, let me pick this girl, let me pick this girl. No, Floyd was still knocking people out at 23. So
here's the thing though about that. The kind of go on that. See, this is what a lot of people are not understanding. Floyd Mayweather was calling out the Prince Nassim Hamed. He was calling out, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people. They didn't want to fight Floyd. So basically what Devin Haney is going through right now, Floyd was going through it. You feel what I'm saying? It just, when he fought Oscar De La Hoya is when he became that person, you know, that everybody start tuning in to watch. And here was the thing. A lot of people tune in to Floyd Mayweather, not because they liked him. They just wanted to pay to watch him lose. You feel what I'm saying? It's just that they
some liked him.
Some a lot. Matter of fact, a lot like him.
Yeah, it's a mythical thing with Floyd, like you said. People just want to see him lose just as bad as they want to see him win.
Right.
But to just keep going on your point, man, I think Teofimo, like you said, he's cutting himself short right now, and I feel like he could be possibly hindering his career because, like you said, you have guys like Mike Tyson, who always says it every time he pretty much does an interview. It's disrespectful for you really not to fight me. You know what I'm saying? As my brother, you're supposed to fight me because this is how I feed my family. This is how Mike talks about other top boxers in his division, in the heavyweight division. He always says it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying, to fight another man, especially a top contender, because we got to make this money for our family. And I get it, like the money at the end of the day, it doesn't mean all of everything, but still, the fans want to see the best fight. So we're not about to go out here and watch you fight a second tier fighter when you had the opportunity to fight Haney. And I get it. He probably want to max out the amount of dollars he could right now, but you selling yourself short. Because let's say he even got his ass knocked out cold in the first round. People gonna want a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gonna want to see the rematch of it. Like, man, he probably wasn't ready. Man, Teofimo like that, man. We have to see him fight another time. So he really selling himself short for real. So I feel like just him being scared, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll call it scared. I ain't even going to hold back. Him being scared of I feel like it's more him being scared of, okay, if I lose right here, then my career over with, which is that's not true. We've seen Kenny Garcia lose multiple times against top contenders, and he can still bring millions of dollars home because it's like, shit, I'm fighting the top niggas. Ain't nobody else fighting these niggas, and it's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man. So, so basically, with me, boxing is dying. It's a dying sport, if you ask me. Because it's not like, if you look at MMA, UFC, it's steady, you know what I'm saying, increasing. When you look at boxing, don't nobody want to fight the best. Everybody wants to, it's a talking game now. Everybody want to say that they can beat this person, they can beat that person, but don't nobody want to get in the ring to prove it. And that's the issue that I have. They keep talking about how boxing is a business. What you mean? It's a business. I am the business. So if I'm telling you and you telling like people like Timothy Bradley, you know, when he was speaking on Teofimo, oh, he's only 23, he's young. But then you trying to force Bud Crawford to fight Errol Spence. But oh no, Teofimo, he's young. So you know, he could fight Haney along the lines of a year, 2 years, 3 years. He's young. look, man, check this out. If you got a belt, ain't no such thing as too young.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing. You should not apply or should not fight for a championship belt if you're not ready to fight the best.
But
Or claim to be the best.
even to add to that real quick before I let you go again, that yes, like if you have a belt, you should be prepared to fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because people gonna want that belt. But then too, you gotta act within how others in your league is acting, well, your division is acting. So you got a guy like Haney he don't care who the hell he fight. He just want to win. You know what I'm saying? And get all the belts. So you gotta, I feel like once fighters, when you have a fighter that has that type of mindset, even with Wilder, even though Wilder wasn't successful doing it, it still brought that tone to the heavyweight division. Like, hey man, I'm trying to get all the belts. If y'all ain't on that, then hey, you know what I'm saying? Get out the way and get rolled over. You feel me? And that's what it was. So that's the type of mindset that Devin Haney got. And it's like the Teofimo, who I don't know how the hell Boxing Rec do it, but they ranked him number 1 in their division. Maybe just because he beat Lomachenko, but I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Look, now I'm glad I got that out the way, far as like exposing him, because they wasn't going to allow him to fight Devin Haney. They just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It's the politics in that. And then when you look at it, bro, Devin Haney is being done so wrong to the point where it's like Devin Haney was supposed to fight Luke Campbell. Lomachenko took that fight, right? And then on top of that, vacated it and asked for the franchise, right? Just so and that the belt is to make the best fights. But no, the best fights is not being made. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna talk about this in a little bit, you know, the Canelo, but look at Canelo, he ain't got to fight. Look at Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? He can avoid the best fights right now. You know what I'm saying? Look at like the whole situation when before Lomachenko got it. Like he didn't have to fight Haney. So it's the duck belt, bro. It doesn't even make sense at all, because when you look at it, they keep telling Haney he needs to fight somebody. He needs to boost his resume, but he's trying to fight Teofimo. He tried to fight Lomachenko. He tried to fight Javier Fortuna. He tried to fight like a lot of people, bro. He tried to fight Gary Russell Jr. and nobody is fighting this cat, but they keep telling him, "Oh, you need to. He need a key opponent. He need to fight a better person." Man, look, man. If he get the fights that he's pursuing, then he would be fighting a better fighters. But nobody giving this dude a chance. You know what I'm saying? And this is the same thing that Floyd Mayweather went through. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel like what they gonna do with him, they probably just gonna send him on the journeyman route for a couple fights, like just so it could keep building up, which I think is the wrong move. Because I feel like you should try to maximize the youth right now while you can. So it doesn't make sense not to fight Teofimo. You feel me? Let's say Teofimo, like I said, gets knocked out in the first round. They rematch in a couple years. There's still gonna be some hype behind that if Teofimo could still hold on to the top of that class. Let's say Teofimo lose that one in a close one. People gonna want to at least probably see a trilogy, depending on how close it is. But then, if you want to have Haney go the journeyman route, it's gonna take a year or a year and a half off his career for no reason. It'd be 24 for no reason, and he could have fought top guys right now while he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to send him down the Linares or the Pedraza route. There's no point. Just fight the top since he wanted. And that's one thing I can say, even though Spence is older than Haney, you know, but that's one thing I like about Spence. Like, Spence ain't he ain't straying away from the top dog. He said, hey, let's make it happen, because the more I fight them, the more I keep beating the top dogs, the more I get paid.
My legacy.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel me? So,
yeah, that's the thing though. But like, you got people like like Ryan Garcia, who's basically trying to push Teofimo to fight Devin Haney because he is the actual mandatory. He's the mandatory, and he's not even pursuing the belt. He's saying that it don't even matter anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my thing is this, though. My thing is this. I've never seen a mandatory not try to pursue his chance at actually becoming a champion. That's number one. The other thing is I've never seen a champion become so Hollywood after one fight in Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? So like my angle on boxing, bro, I'm like this. I'm a fan of it, but I'm not watching no fight that I don't agree with. Mm-hmm. These fights, the best fights should have been made. When you look at the whole situation with Anthony Joshua, he's supposed to have fought Deontay Wilder, but he didn't. And he said, oh, I ain't gonna fight him maybe the 20, 21, 22. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we need these fights.
Hold on. Look what happened. Now it's like, even with that still happening, it's not as interesting. If Tyson Fury didn't come along and him and Wilder had the controversy that they had, and Fury and Joshua didn't already have the controversy they had, nobody wouldn't even give a fuck about Anthony Joshua. Because it's like, right. Who cares, bro? When it was time to really step up, you ain't step up. Like, you did it against a Ruiz who you lost to. You know what I'm saying? You step back up because you had to. You know what I mean? Like, but niggas say, like, man, you can't really, I don't know. I think it's just getting to the point where fans are starting to see, man, you're not going to be able to get my eyes to watch some of this BS. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is the only thing on, I won't turn it on to that, bro.
Right. Yeah, I'm just to that point, bro.
Bosa.
I'm just to that point where I don't even want to like boxing is so Hollywood now. We're not getting the fights that we want. We can't get the fighter to want to agree to fight. Then we already know the boxing perspective as far as business. We know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are losing money, but here's the thing. Here's why. You can't expect a fan to lose interest after you keep fighting tomato cans, and then once you fight somebody, for them to just pick up their interest right then and there. No, they stop watching boxing. You know what I'm saying? As a fighter, you should be one of the ones that want to keep the boxing thing going by fighting the best. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody trying to take the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, but they're not looking at the fact that Floyd gambled on himself, even though he was the underdog. You know what I'm saying? In a few of these fights, he took it. And not only that, he was moving up in weight. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying?
The thing about Floyd, too, because I think it's just boxing people as a whole, just because he's what Jordan is to people in boxing. Granted, you got a lot of other great fighters who came before him, which is a whole host of a list that I won't even begin to name right now. But Floyd to my generation, and I'm gonna say Floyd to anybody 35 and under is Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it may be to some other people, but I'm just more specifically talking about active fighters. You feel me? He's their Jordan. And it's like, okay, everybody's trying to have a career like he is. The thing is, you got to understand, a lot of y'all don't have the flexibility that Floyd has right now, because one, he put the time in. Two, he built himself a name. So, but within doing those two, you're going to have to fight some freaking body. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to curse, but you got to fight somebody, bro. Then three, he gave us fights that people are paid to see, even later on in his career. You know what I'm saying? Even when he fought Andre Berto, me personally, I felt like, man, I don't know if Floyd should fight Berto. You know what I'm saying? And this was when Berto was at, you know what I'm saying, reaching his pinnacle. Granted, he ain't really hold on to that long, but It was still like shit. Like, he fought Berto. He fought a young Canelo, which is very dangerous. I feel like Canelo probably would have gave anybody else a run for their money then. Then, even with McGregor, that's a great draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, he in his 40s, like 39, 40, and you want him to keep fighting. Like, it's no way in the world he would have fought an Errol Spence or a Bud or a Keith Thurman or a Danny Gart. Like, it's no way he would do that.
Right.
But he still gave us entertainment fights and stuff people want to see. And the reason he was able to do that is because he built his name and his legacy already. Like, he wasn't ducking nobody.
Right. And then they talk about, oh, he fought Manny Pacquiao at an old age, even though he's
Pacquiao still. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Pacquiao is still fighting and good.
Yeah, he just beat Keith Thurman.
Yeah, he fighting. Pacquiao is fighting good right now, so I ain't trying to hear that.
I ain't trying to hear that. But let's move on to Canelo, man. It's been, and I'm gonna touch on this a little bit more, even because I'm pretty sure you're gonna probably go ahead.
Granted, because the numbers just got to be out there. I just want to make sure we highlight it. Teofimo took Kambosos for a guaranteed $1.25 million when he could have. The contract was on the table for a minimum of $4 million for Haney. So I want everybody out there to know that. So just so you could just really see what's going on, he shorted himself. What
2.7. Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, and you talking about a bag, bro. Who else you gonna get? Who else you gonna fight that's gonna pay you $4 million? Tank will probably be 3.54, and like Ryan Garcia. I don't even think Ryan Garcia get that much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ryan Garcia only got like 400,000 his last fight, like 500,000.
I don't know. I think he had to get more. I know
hold on. I'm probably mistaken, but I'm gonna definitely double check. I know he did
fight before. I think you talking about because he had 500,000.
He didn't make that much. Like, we know he got millions of followers and stuff like that. What I'm basically saying that it didn't translate. You know what I'm saying to his fight because he made the least amount out of Devin Haney, him, Teofimo, and Gervonta Davis.
Okay, so this what it was. He had a guaranteed purse of 500,000, which is low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I was right. I was right. So
which is like for somebody to be a internet sensation. You know what I'm saying? Even with that, having a social media following, he still got 500,000 for a guarantee. For the guaranteed, then plus the pay-per-view, it probably didn't got up to like 1.5 million because he had 55 to 60% of that. But still, that's peanuts, bro.
Yeah,
that's peanuts. Like, man, I don't know.
See, they all want to fight Gervonta Davis because they think that they have a better chance of beating him because of the success, a little success that Leo Santa Cruz was having. You know what I'm saying, against him before he got knocked out.
Leo Santa Cruz is a tough fighter. Leo Santa Cruz, he and I hate to just put it like this, but he has like that man, I'm thinking about Buddy who whooped AB, but Floyd beat him twice.
Well, you talk about Madonna.
Yeah, he kind of got that mindset, and I don't want to say like a Mexican boxer mindset because that kind of sounds a little crazy, but that's how Mexican boxers are looked at, as to have like a tough mindset and stuff like that. So, and just being a tough physical guy within a ring is scrappy. So he has that. So when he get hit, he'll keep coming forward. That ain't nothing to him. A lot of guys don't have that. Like, if I'm telling you for sure, if that Luke Campbell shot that Ryan Garcia took was from Tank, it would have been over with. It wouldn't have been no 10. It would have been over with. Then what?
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, moving on, man. This, I love talking about Canelo, man.
My bad. My last story too, because sometimes you got to get me going when I'm talking about boxing.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
Even to add more insult to injury, your own promoter is telling you, I don't know why he took this fight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bob Arum Bob Arum is like, he's pissed right now. Granted, because it's probably gonna get to the point to where it's like, man, I'm just paying this dude 1.5 million on the front end. I probably ain't gonna get nothing on the back end. Like, dude ain't what I should get because he's supposed to be fighting Haney, and everything was perfectly set up for him to fight Haney. Until now, you may start getting me who did he has the belt with? It's not the WBC, it's the IBF or IBO, isn't it?
Yeah, the IBO.
WBC.
Well, the WBC keep flip flopping. Mauricio Sulaiman is saying that he's the undisputed, then he's not the undisputed. First, the franchise belt, you couldn't win it; it was just a prize. Now all of a sudden, he did win it. Now he undisputed. I'm like, bro, this dude, man, they just go along and go with whatever, you know what I'm saying, is trending or whatever somebody else says. So that's why Teofimo keep telling people that Devin Haney is the email champion, because Mauricio Sulaiman is basically making the situation more complex, which there should only be per division one belt. You know what I'm saying? All the sanctioning bodies should only have one belt. The person that has the belt is the champion. You know what I'm saying? But they're confusing it. You know what I'm saying? So like he's making it very confusing to me. You know what I'm saying? But we do know that when you say things like undisputed, that means that the person that has the belt is the top person for that division. And there's no dispute, no other belts that actually matters. Devin Haney has the one belt that matters to basically create undisputed. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. Another problem within the sport that we gonna touch on another subject. You know what I'm saying, on another episode, because the sanctioning body is terrible.
Real quick before I get into this next topic, I just want the fans to know how like the severity of that. When a promoter like Bob Arum, who has the reputation of not being able to make fights for Crawford and stuff, like fighters under his promotion is disgruntled, tells you that one of his top fighters, well, I don't know why he made that fight. That should let you know a lot right there. That should let you know a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. Dale, you can take us to the next one, man.
All right, man. So the next topic is about Canelo. So Canelo is considered one of the pound for pound top fighters, right? But I am pretty much taking that away, because I believe that Canelo fights all of the weakest links, all of the weakest champions in every division. I believe that he continues to duck Charlo. I believe that he's ducking Benavidez. I now believe that he's probably going to fight Caleb Plant, because Caleb Plant wasn't looking good in his last fight. But he don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. This dude don't want to fight nobody that will give him a 50-50 chance. When Canelo fights, you automatically know that Canelo is going to win. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not fighting the Charlos. But it's articles showing, and it's videos, showing that he's saying, oh, he had knocked Charlo out in 4. Man, Charlo been calling this man out for over 3 years. You know what I'm saying? He still haven't got that fight. You feel what I'm saying? And Canelo is one of the few fighters that can fight when he want to. So there's no excuses as to why he's not making those fights. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that Canelo is being very strategic with who he fights. He's ducking specific fighters. He don't want to fight specific fighters. When he fight, he don't want to fight the 50-50 fights. Like, for instance, I'm gonna give 3 examples. Okay. When he went up to 168, instead of fighting Caleb Plant, he decided to fight Rocky Fielding when he first went up there. Instead of fighting Caleb Plant or Benavidez, he decided to fight who? Caleb Smith. right? He was the lesser. This is in 168 when he went up to 175. Instead of fighting Archie Beterbiev or Demetrius Bivol, he decided to fight on such short notice Kovalev. After, you know what I'm saying? I think he gave 6 weeks after he just had a fight. You know what I'm saying? Very stage. You know what I'm saying? So like when he yeah, and let's go to also the 160 division. When he went to the 160 division, yes, he did fight Triple G, but I still think that Triple G wasn't the top tier, the top tier fighter. I still believe that Demetrius Andrade, and I still believe that Charlo was the best fighter. And he didn't want to fight Derevyanchenko. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to fight Danny Jacobs until he seen how vulnerable he was. You feel what I'm saying? So when you look at it, Canelo do not fight the fighters that are a 50-50 chance. So for that reason, I'm not giving this dude no credit. I'm calling fluff on his resume. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it looked good on paper, but we gotta put it in its proper context of when he actually fought these specific fighters. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Yeah, man. For that, man, I just think Canelo, like you said, he boxing himself into a bad situation, especially with him trying to get away from DAZN and my boy De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's just putting himself in a bad situation, man, because Canelo is still looked at as one of the best fighters, currently. But it's like you're not doing what it takes to hold that and being able to preserve that. Like we just said, man, you got to fight the best people that's out there. So whether that's a Benavidez, a Charlo, you know what I'm saying, or you want to take the lesser or whoever that is out of them, or even Billy Joe Saunders, like, bro, fight somebody, bro. Like I said before, we had a conversation about this before. I think for you to be the number one and top in your division and stuff like that, you have to fight a top 10 fighter or a top 5, top 7 fighter every time you go out. It's not, no, man, I'm going to fight buddy out here from this other division. You know what I'm saying? He 12th and native. Like, nah, bro, you fight somebody that's in your weight class. You find a super middleweight, whether it's Benavidez, Caleb Smith. I don't know how he ranks second right now. Plant or any of them guys, you know what I'm saying? Go fight one of them, or go fight Charlo. Go, like what the news been coming out recently about Spence. Go fight Spence, even though I feel like they have to do that at a catch weight, because I wouldn't want Spence to have to jump 2 weight classes. You feel me? So yeah, I don't know, man. He got to put something together, and I think Canelo getting to that point to where I feel like he probably don't really too much care about boxing, like how people think he cares about it right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think he probably feel like, man, I done made my money, did what I'm gonna do, and now it's time to get up out of here.
Yeah, bro, but that's my thing, man. Like, how do you got people like Canelo? He's been allowed, and that's what I mentioned about the franchise belt. See, Mauricio Sulaiman was on a platform that I watch, and basically they was saying, like, how do you allow Canelo to move the way he moved? He said his thing was Canelo earned it. How did he earn it? So you mean to tell me that the person that you had, Deontay Wilder, for all the time, he didn't have the first privilege, and right to become an honorary franchise champion? You know what I'm saying? Even though at some point he did offer Deontay Wilder, a chance to become franchise champion, but he declined it because what Deontay Wilder seen was the fact that it's actually hindering certain fights. And it's basically a license to duck the best people. If you don't want to fight a specific individual, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to. And then my other thing is they talking about how, Canelo has mandatories. Why wasn't their mandatory important when they had a mandatory like Jamal Charlo. See, it was always avoiding people, you know what I'm saying? Jamal Charlo, but then all of a sudden, when he's not the person, that you gotta fight, for a mandatory, all of a sudden it's important. Oh, I gotta fight my mandatory. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing with Anthony Joshua, bro. Like all these fighters, they're hurting the sport so bad, bro. And they got people like me who don't even really tune in anymore as often as I did. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like scripted. It's scripted. Like these people, man, it's like you fight for a living, and then you got people, just to go slightly back to the Teofimo, you got people like Teofimo who tell Mike Tyson that he's an instigator. How the hell you an instigator when he's basically trying to promote and get a fight to happen? That's not instigating. You know what I'm saying? That's promotion.
Mike should have knocked him out, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, and then look, see here, and here's the other thing too, bro. Because I seen two. I'm sorry, man, just to go back to the Teofimo, but I seen two things that he does. When you hit Teofimo with certain things, right? So, like for instance, Mike Tyson was talking about Carl Devin Haney. He told him Mike want to instigate. Like, first of all, how the hell you instigating in boxing? That's what y'all, you know what I'm saying? You'll call that at school or something. You feel me? Like two people don't want to fight, but somebody trying to egg it on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's instigating.
And
he's trying to promote.
There's no such thing as instigating.
And not in boxing.
Yeah, it's selling a fight.
Right.
A fight.
So then, what happened is he starts stroking them off. The minute, you know what I'm saying, he started talking about Devin Haney. What Lopez did, Teofimo Lopez did, what he started doing, he was like, man, but Mike, man, I love what you did for the sport. I did this, just trying to get off the topic, off the subject. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want to talk about why and don't want to further expose himself, why he don't want to fight Teofimo. Now, it's a difference between the fights not happen and wanting to fight and it not happen. He doesn't even want the fight. You feel what I'm saying? Even when your promoter wants to fight for you, you don't want it because, bro, that's disbelief within yourself. Then the second one where he started stroking the person off is a recent interview that he did, with on Top Rank. The guy was talking about, well, basically, why did you turn down $4 million? You said that you want money, but you turned down $4 million. Why? He was like, because I don't want to give any handouts. How is that giving anybody a handout? I don't understand this, bruh.
I don't know, man. A lot of people, they just got to understand. You're not set up like how Haney is. Because one, you have a promoter. Haney is his own promoter. He only has to answer to himself. So automatically, you're not going to get as much money as he going to get regardless, just because of the route you took, it's nothing wrong with that. Teofimo probably would have made 4, Haney probably would have made 5, or they probably would have made the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I really just don't see why guys are just keep ducking each other like that. Even with Canelo, to get back on that, it's a slew of people out there that he could fight. You know what I'm saying? Pulev, Peter Beeve, like you said, Bivol, like it's guys out there that he could fight. Demetrius Andrade and all those guys, Charlo. There's guys out there for you to fight, but you keep taking a lesser if you want to. Keep taking a lesser. You're gonna see when it start affecting your pockets. When people gonna start like, hey man, we ain't gonna give you this much up front because we don't. This back end looking crazy.
You see it's happening though with the DAZN.
We got a lot more to talk about. We just want to leave y'all with that for right now. We're going to be back. Trust me, guaranteed. We got a lot more to talk about. Just the state of the boxing world. A lot more fights coming up soon with things starting to open back up due to COVID. We'll have a lot more stuff out there and a lot more good fights to talk about, man. So, Kendall, man, appreciate you for having me on here, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man. I'm a touch on some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know you're gonna be here like twice, so I'm gonna be tapping in a little bit more on the boxing. It's just right now boxing is dying, and we got to just get a reasons why, in hopes that they change it, because they think that people like me who are fans, who is a fan of the boxing, that I'm gonna just continue to roll with whatever they go with, and I'm gonna support they fights no matter what. I would consider myself a hardcore boxing, but I'm not. I'm not doing it at the extent to where you think you're gonna give me the fights when you want to. No, whenever I want to fight, and people like me say we want to fight, y'all give us them fights. No politics, take that out. You know what I'm saying? We want to see undisputed. We want to see all these things. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk about it more. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tune in. It was just a warm up for this one. We just had to get the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna make sure that we bring facts for y'all to see, to be displayed, all that. You know what I'm saying? But thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Ken Dale. We'll be definitely tuning in with y'all more. And that's all I got, man, for now. So I'm out.
Man, we checking out. Yes, sir.